Hi, everybody. It's Marianne Cashman with William Ravis Real Estate and the Source of the Source. And I am so excited and happy to have with me today one of my favorite people, Christina Berthelsen, who has been somebody that I've admired for a long time. And she's coming to us today as president of the South School PTO. Welcome, Christina.
Oh, thank you so much, Marianne. I'm delighted to be here and really looking forward to our conversation.
Me too, me too. I have my tea. Did you bring anything this morning or?
I already finished my coffee, so I'm trying to break the habit a little bit.
Got it. Okay. No, later for me. So, Christina, before we start talking about the PTO and what's going on, why don't you tell me a little bit about you and what your background is, your family?
Sure. So my husband Phil and I moved to Andover about 5 years ago, and we have three children. We have our oldest daughter, Abby, who is actually a freshman at Bentley University this year. And then, yeah, and then my two younger children, Sam and Rachel, who are in fourth and second grade at South. I started out as a public school teacher for years and years and left the classroom for about a decade to do some work on the nonprofit side, particularly focused on education and educational equity. And then this year jumped back into the classroom. So decided this would be, what better time to try it again than in the middle of a pandemic. So I'm back teaching middle school math.
That is awesome. And it's been, again, a pleasure to watch your journey and to see everything you've accomplished. And you've also, one of the reasons we're so connected is you're very social oriented. You're very involved with the society. And every time I see any need for anything, I see you pop right up and say, what can I do? So that's one of the reasons that I admire you. So let's talk a little bit about the PTO, okay? And before we talk about your current project, I just want to acknowledge, you had shared with me a little bit about what you guys have done. Wow. You must have a dynamic group that you work with. You want to talk to me a little bit about this group?
Yeah, absolutely. So the PTO at South has always just been such a wonderful, dedicated group of parents, particularly women, but we've been really fortunate to have some dads who have served as well. This year is no different. What is different this year is that all of our traditional programming, both on the event side and the fundraising side, has really had to stop. COVID regulations in the public schools, as I'm sure you and everyone know, have been pretty intense. And we also made a conscious decision earlier this year, working with our administration, to really step back on the fundraising piece, knowing that so many of our families and people in our community have been adversely affected by circumstances of the last year. We just didn't feel right asking for them to contribute financially. And we're also really lucky that last year we had an incredibly successful year as a PTO. And we did our first ever Booster-thon fun run, and we raised over $20,000 from that event alone. And we've had some great parent socials too. So we ended up in a really good financial spot. And then we unfortunately weren't able to do a lot of our spring programming because that March COVID. Right. So we had this money just sitting there, and we felt like, let's put it to use instead of, kind of upping the pot. Yeah. So we've been able to do some really great things this year. I work with a phenomenal group of women, in particular our board. So I'm just going to give a shout out to Mary, Kate, and Meg, our treasurer, vice president, and secretary, who have just been absolute rock stars. Without our regular events running, we haven't really had to kind of call in the troops, so to speak, to really get all of our events going. So a lot of what we've done has been really board focused and board generated. That being said, we have had an amazing group of volunteers who have stepped up in new and unique ways. We have some great new programming to kind of take the place of some of the in-person events. And it's just been a really, really great year.
Yeah. And, again, we talk a lot about having to pivot in our lives over this last year. And again, kudos to you and the board and all the volunteers of the PTO, because you've done a remarkable job. And, again, from the summary that you sent me of what you've done, you've really been able to engage a lot of the general community, but also, of course, the South community. So that's awesome. That's fantastic. So let's talk about March Madness. Yeah. I'm going to let you talk about that. But one thing I just want to acknowledge, I was so impressed with the number of local businesses that the PTO has embraced and purchased gift certificates from. You know, that's a passion of mine. And so I just thought that was so fantastic. Again, a way to recognize and to give back and to support our local community. So that's awesome. So
Um,
yeah.
yeah, no, thank you so much. It's really, I'm remiss for not saying this earlier, but it's really been a goal of the PTO for the last few years, but particularly this year, to really support our community, particularly the businesses who've been so good to the schools over the years. So we've done that in a lot of different ways. We did 2 weeks of teacher appreciation at the beginning of the school year to really welcome the teachers back, and almost everything we did were items and donations, or items that we purchased from local businesses. So breakfast sandwiches from somebody's place, and pastry from Town Market. We did a book drive for our library to make our curriculum more diverse, and the library collection matched that. And all of those books came from Andover Bookstore. So we're really trying. We did candy at Christmas, little candy gifts from Sweet Mimi's to all of our students. So we're really trying to kind of build off on that. So March Madness, keeping it local, just seemed like a natural next step. So we are doing our first fundraiser of the year now, and we really wanted to find a way to make it accessible for all families who wanted to participate, but still bring in funds to do some really important programming that we finally, now that regulations are starting to open up a little bit, we've been really lucky that we're going to be able to get some of our spring programming in. So things like our curriculum enrichment, particularly programming for our 5th grade class, who, we were worried we're going to miss all of these really great end of their time at South traditions, and we're going to be able to do some of those. So we really want to raise the funds to make that happen without putting an undue burden on all of our families.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so really March Madness it's a raffle, and we have 2 tiers. So we'll have 10 winners that will each win a $50 gift card to a local business. And these businesses range from everything from Acorn Home Design, Cracked, Andiamo, Oak and Iron, Yella, Kid Casso, Mac and Company, Pazzo, D'Agostino's, and Gadi Thai Bistro. So $50 gift cards are on that side. And those raffle tickets are $5 for 1, $10 for 3, or $25 for 10. So we're trying to really have that, smaller price point that will welcome everyone in. And then we have one grand prize winner that's a separate raffle ticket that's currently valued at $1,386 and growing. So we're really fortunate that we've had some great businesses help throw in some additional donations. So that price point is climbing. But those tickets, obviously it's a much higher value prize. So those tickets are $25 for 1, $50 for 3, and $100 for 8. But that includes $100 gift cards to a variety of local businesses, including B-Tone, Chic, Helen Thomas, Little Delights, 2020 Boutique, yeah, and Rosa, as well as $150 to Bueno Malo, and some great prizes from places like Club Pilates. Bueno Malo, we purchased a $100 gift card. They threw in an extra $50. 2020, we bought a gift card. They're giving us this amazing pair of leggings. Helen Thomas, we bought the gift card. They're donating a beautiful Lola pendant. And we bought the B-Tone gift card, and they're throwing in this amazing gift package.
Wow.
It has a bag and some great little paraphernalia there. So we're just so lucky and so fortunate to be able to find a way to support our school through these raffles, but also continue to support the businesses in our community.
Huge. And again, kudos to you guys. There's just so much love there, what you're just sharing about all these different communities and these businesses. And I just love how everyone really has this year, I think, stepped up and supported that local community. So way to go. That's awesome. So tell us about how long do we have to buy tickets?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. So tickets, officially, we had a soft opening on Sunday night, but tickets truly went on sale yesterday. And we'll continue to sell tickets through March 31st. And we're going to select our winners in a live drawing on Facebook on April 1st. So it'll be our first time trying to go live on the PTO page. So fingers crossed it works, but we'll be selecting the winners.
be fine. So I'm definitely going to be hopping on there to buy some tickets. I'm going to, in my post, I'm going to post on Instagram and Facebook, and then also on my YouTube channel, The Source of the Source, about the March Madness, excuse me. And I'll also post a link. But would you mind sharing with everybody really quick how they can buy tickets?
Yeah, so there's a link to a Google form. So we're collecting all the information that way, and then we're actually creating the physical tickets here based on the information that comes in. So on that form, we're collecting, contact information like name, email, phone number, as well as how many tickets you want. And there are 3 options for purchasing tickets. You can do cash or check to the school. We have a PayPal option on our PTO website. And then for people who are comfortable with Venmo, we also have a personal Venmo account that we're taking funds through. So we're trying to meet everyone and find ways that are convenient for everybody.
That's perfect. Well, it sounds like you have really created a really fun opportunity for people to have a chance to support the PTO. And again, all the programs and activities that we have the rest of the year and following years and stuff, but also again, support our local community. So I think that's just fantastic. Way to go, guys. Way to go.
Thank you so much, Marianne. And I just, because I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but my biggest fear is leaving out a business that has donated to us. So I just want to really quickly, in case I missed them the first time.
Yes.
E-Tone, Helen Thomas, Little Delights 2020 Boutique, and Bueno Malo have all just gone above and beyond and donated things in addition to the gift cards that we've purchased. So I just want to make sure that I give a shout out to them, as well as we have some really great volunteers and families who have sponsored some of the gift cards too, to really keep the PTO cost down. So if I may just thank,
yes.
Thank you. Sarah Slaughter, Kate Squiliciati, Katie Carley, Ellen Zereich, and Jess Bueno-Payne have just been really great in this too. So I couldn't have done it without their support. Oh, and Kayleen Bernardi. See, I knew I was going to miss someone. Sorry, Kayleen.
But no, I love, again, the team environment and the support. You guys have done so much. This is really exciting. So thank you so much, Christina. Thank you this morning. And I will post this later on today, okay? And hopefully we'll see the sales soar and get some good support from PTO.
All right. Thank you so much, Marianne. And thank you for all that you're doing for our local businesses too. It's been really great to see. It's an inspiration. So.
My pleasure, Christina. All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.